call because yes, my man, starting on this note, and now I think on Facebook I wrote something very instructive. I think I need to share with camera. I'm coming. Okay, so I share something on Facebook and men started on that particular note. They say it hurts much to realize that the government of our own design and creation is weaponized and turned into a modern day scam machine that is devised to enrich few greedy people in power, how millions remain enslaved and petrified. Trust me, governance here is no different from the big pharma agenda. You can't big pharma agenda. I think most of you are familiar with. In the United States of America, those the big pharmaceutical companies, what they did, and they say some of the drugs, with some hospitals and medical authorities, what they had to do, this as a patient in a hospital crying, say you need a drug for maybe 3 days, and they will make sure say prescribe amount for more than necessary. Some of the drugs, those synthetic opioids, so obi a bet my one normal copy so be addicted to it. So I know the day when you tisima when you cry you go and buy. And they were making a lot of money out of those things. Later, my mom fought the court and resulted in a lot of compensations. So I think that you can read about it. So that is the big pharma agenda. And in the say they will create the disease, sell the cure, and check their bank account. And I think the governance here, that is all it's about that. Among for afa brunya ho edi crackers. Baby, I basi yaba sum ni pano. Yehano and yes, ye baba sum nipa, but a yaquenya, ye de baba pesica, nibidi, and my home, and your busian for. And the yawum, they say, we all pretend say we are Christians, and nana G overcall assorted them. You see a lot of people in church shouting, screaming, praising God. About half are criminals. They are the very people who are stealing poor people's money. Majority of these people you see out there, most of them are criminals, Sabi. Oba pemfo a sika ese yede kosi ayaresabia na yede hwe no watam sika ese yede hwe nkora no wafa enso ye nyina ye pride ya ho in the end kogu asoro dem koteatiem sa nipa kro ya papa ni yetim ya nwini nipa ho whenever we get opportunity to be in the position and say to say about render service to the people, we just capitalize on that particular way, na ya their fat, na ya the iron rich, and for that particular reason, instead of say advance to the top of the ladder, we keep reversing. So Ghana, your development now here on Chroma time now here now you could see say we have assumed a downward spiral. I buy a chisa economy no ateki a reverse gear. A man for a move come when you know buy a chi. Or because a man for taking wrong decisions, na ya fa hona ya sign area a ball minor. So in the end, we are not going anywhere. So that is what I'm saying. It's a leadership here, and leadership, it's not limited to people or more politics in all aspect of your friends saying your life, your traditional even authorities na nkasa. So here kwanya mo fa so ton sa simani pa be na enum ya keka manfo tia bom, especially our brothers and sisters in abroad. What they do is so nyehu so wa buchire pe obeton land na ma no aton mo bi foforo, because onim say a young guy in America winya kwan emetena Africa sa wobetwe amanso. That is a strategy. And your ton land na ma waba ha wasere kwan wa adwuma na waba wacha bia 2 weeks 1 month winya da je metena ha emetwe amanso enti obeton amawo case na up and down be frustrated because obetwa take it in and out America sa woba be kon odi show bin sa enkosi aga na ya fa kwan be so na land na osika ashim. And asama make a lot of you are victims to such stratagem. It's a strategy that is being employed by these criminal ganga. Amofro ebinum ya hemfo omo afa so edi amanfo enya okruma. And the oko ya sorry them one amount for in lead position, amount for trusty or more. Some of the church people, no people go to church because their heart is broken. Some are desperate. Some there is this veil of hopelessness. So people go there. They see the church as a sanctuary. Go to get something to fill their broken heart. Some people take advantage of the fact that your friends say heart is broken because they are poor, because they are desperate. You know, there are people who take advantage of that. Yeah, exploit you, yeah, impoverish you, further. So you see, the leadership na ye canon and your politics in wherever Ghana ni benya kwenya viaro or fasa kwenya no so at the training form at the body nuya so sa subino and the yedi a buya mine a minor yanena mua ababesin there. So post na metro and then that is what it means. Leadership as a several purpose. It me boa na ye nyina ye betime de ho asisi because governance and leadership we central to everything humanity. Love for humanity. That is why one key principle or attribute of a leader, you should be very empathetic. You must see realize that these people are vulnerable group. They deserve to be supported or assisted. There be a example say Oko America, Oko UK, and the other European countries they spend a lot of money taking care of vulnerable in society. The vulnerable in the society for the fact that these people are human beings. Care for humanity because my culture says some of the people I call care home about for taking care of them. No, some are such that because they can't make any productive contribution to the growth of America's economy or UK's economy. So the question is, why will a government spend a fortune taking care of these people whom you might say some are intellectually deficient, some are some are imbecile, some are psychiatric patients, and so far they may not come back to do anything. But for the fact is central to governance, humanity, care for humanity, to government, spend a fortune. And recently now I was having a discussion with a guy in America now about how much they spend on some of these people. For the fact that the government is committed, say these are vulnerable group, and for the sake is and they cannot help themselves, and the state must help them. By a high yasao, when you go so I want sa would be a jumacrano. Na campesa will be oyare. So if you go to the street, you see a lot of sick people, more and then namabontian don't be dikura or munya, and nobody cares. This is the society we live in, and we pretend to say yada yasumya mea master say yaso nipadi ebimada. This is the society we live in. We don't care for one another, but until say you beginning to show care, because the whole essence of leadership is being able to provide platform for others or make me leverage to bring the best out of them. That is all that leadership is about. That is why the last time I was telling you, say Obi Obeka say you provide equal platform. No, that person belongs to the Stone Age because we are saying and then you provide equal platform. Because platformer you provide equal platformer. Obi jina so an nsabeduru baby. Obi the tieti o jina so a onuru. So we show obia no provide an opportunity amano. So you provide the necessary incentives and nipa bit me leverage, but that is not what we are doing here in Africa. And I took a casual look at some publications some years ago, and some of the countries are, especially in Africa, some of the resources are turning these resources into something valuable. A bit me aboa, a may brabo, not consistently, the few. Your friend saying a class of criminal elite who manage to connive with their friends to capture political power, now you bar to enrich themselves, or more and so the resources now for piano intimate and timber form and affected the lives of the people. And then I mentioned Nigeria as at 2018. Now in a day, Nigeria produce 2.5 million barrels of crude oil per day. And in 2019, so we had total exports in Nigeria. Now oil accounted for about 86% of the total your friends saying exports revenue munyaye. Oil accounted for about 86%. Apart from that, you know, there are other resources or more than as a form. But so we had the poverty rate in Nigeria, we can best show. This is a country blessed with a lot of natural resources. Oily, do more Ghana anyhow, because Ghana, I think we are as at 2023. Yes, last year, no, now we are hovering around 160 to 170,000 barrels of crude per day. And Nigeria and over 2.5 million per day. So what the Ghana they not compare or more than a but poverty rate in Nigeria is so shocking. Why? Because some individuals strategically, you know, are conniving with some foreign companies and your friend is saying, and I didn't say, Emma, wealth, you know, translated to the people, no, the wealth, you know, and a few people are more corridors of power and I share those things among themselves, and the people are not benefiting. Is the very reason Nigeria, our more economy is one of the largest economy our Africa has a. But people there look at their life. That is why maybe why Nigerians are coming to Ghana a lot. And I'm telling you, African country back Nigeria for Ghana. The reason is simple. The currency is so terrible, so bad to the sense that Nigeria ni ba Ghana has said no Ghana city back, not the Konu Kruma. It is Ghana ni akwa America, not the dollar aba Ghana. Sanity is the reason why they are here. So the Nigeria ni ba Ghana no timbenya 1 million Ghana cedis. Not the run Nigeria no consistency Ghana. Wayeye. But this is a country with them and saying immense, enormous natural resources. And can poverty gradia and nisenka. But the same strategy, the same way, no, is being implemented everywhere across Africa. And then now I was saying the same thing about a mind to say more now no muye queen Niger. Okoha averagely or babia 6 to about 6 to 7 children averagely into omo pa. That was why the last time I was telling you is a fertility rate in the whole of the world, you know. Omo no mudi kan ko babia wan wo kra no otime wo about 7 or 6. That is the average. And you can imagine, but this is a country blessed with uranium, a very powerful. Your friend is saying, a very powerful. Your friend is a resource. Countries fight China, America, Russia, UK, France, and as for I am very much interested in uranium because a very powerful way nuclear arsenal now take one assembly as for that we know uranium no and I most of them and other places when your friend is saying cobalt and then as for iron also no a radioactive material here for the same purpose. These countries, I was but go to Niger and look at poverty rate. Until recently, not poverty rate and unemployment rate was around 41%. That was Niger. So you see, Africa designing the same thing. That is why I wrote this morning say a government. It's so shocking to realize a government of our own design and our own creation. You are turning into a modern day scam machine. Because Ghana ni no okotfo abano or the Jumadi question pansano or pepase or co na or the 2 million sheni pansa sabi ya kon at the policies in share because people don't vote for people say brana be chesika mame because you can obey them be chesika bobia no bia bra basasa. It's not possible. So the best you can do is to come out with policies ebetimi aboa ama oman no sika semne ne nhyehyeye akoyie na nipa no on their own no se oye bibia ne nsa bekona no na omedan wo se onabo mame wei na mame wei. That is why I pity a lot of people in parliament because the situation I be a desperate one. I spoke to an MP quite recently, and sometimes you'll be shocked because announce that incentives and opportunities in the Emma Obian to mean leverage. Sabaya wait me live a good life in there is over reliance. I always be an ya 2 year new hair obi. Sabaya in the panoba boyen. And a burden for even some of the people in politics as well. For instance, an MP or a particular constituency. So now she memenda drua. So we tia ya obeto fundaka almost bare 100. Wedding a hodo obeko. Honorable me honorable me bas school fees in Nasafonum. So I know the day so we'll quantify some of these demands na airban na would go back for so. The person will have no other option, say, or not to be engaging himself in shady deals to get money to ensure, say, obey me attend to these needs because there is a fear that these people will punish me if I don't. And if you listen to some of them, some of these constituents go there and they threaten themselves. One for we you be two. Obey that because that is the kind of system I set it up. We promise them, say, we na mubenya free or the mawa. But idea say you limited parliamentary job to policies. Emranen shishaye, I am not sure the majority of the people will look up to a politician for favors because, for instance, Yawamrai Okruma, I actually say, Untimi and rented dying and mobi engine more than 1 year. You see, this is a breaking point. Most of the youth in Accra, rent. It's a major crisis. But look at, you never find a single politician out there hoping that you making sure that be a juma. And they will cresika. Now go hand down your Accra. A few run bit measure with Macasa or you 2 years, 3 years advance. So let's say a young man I think our best at brabo. Now we'll pay down them. Na ye due over 2 years advance or 3 years. A month no Accra went to Accra 500, 600, 700, 800. 2 years. When there is a simple law that says you can't charge more than 6 months. And even more dollars and pounds and for our brothers in America and other places, they pay their rent on monthly basis. But some may not swan 1 year be 2. It's as simple as that. And this particular bedding where either you to know so Ghana how crowd say a buying be serious no catch that no say okay. Mean to win your shame or you to know there. I will make sure say no house owner and a bit in your taking your friend is saying rent from Obi more than a month. Diana, yes, nobody says a man take it Diana, but this is creating your friends an economic situation paralyzing most of the youth and there are a lot of young girls doing a lot of nasty stuff all to get money, a bulk money to go and pay their rent because they have no other option. You hear a lot of people going into prostitution when you sit there and you judge them. Some any option be to be very honest with you. Some any option be and Ghana say Hobiano time to come out for free. So, because of this single policy, you're failing to do no. See that the rippling effect have on the lives of a lot of people. Because to me free now say we are Ghana and you would think crying Kumase now we're high dying. Now what ya 1 or 2 months, would have what ya mana broswa 3 months and now 6 months. Do you know the kind of comfort you can secure for a lot of these young people who on their own no a bit musika ayabibi? But look around the political landscape. Nobody is interested in these things. Campaign year or more year up and down, you will never hear any of these things. Quite recently, a vice president shamelessly was out there saying, or no, but my youth to Nisika or more their high and dying. No, because more Bisika more being fine high and dying. How can you rent for everybody, all the youth? You can't. You can't come out with any scheme be able to me what. There is a law, just ensure say emrane beye juma, rent control, strengthen them, make sure say nobody charges above 2 or 3 months. Simple as that. You solve a lot of problems. But nobody's interested. Nobody's interested. So you see, leadership, and a big deal, biao. Some of these things that you think that they are unimportant, they are affecting human life. So if you are able to solve some of these petty problems, at the end of the day, a question springboard, it pushes people ahead, because there are a lot of young ladies that sometimes you pay over 20,000 as a front way. I would dying. I would have a bra. So nipan them, but no near to my yet. You become useless at the end of the year. No damn, 2 years number. You are supposed to cough another 20,000. So a lot of people are being forced to do things that sabi, and the economy, nobody is doing anything to help this. So at the end of the day, bad in big politicians, and some of them are comfortable with those things. Or bad society in honorable. You go to your school fees, you say where the money is coming from. Nobody cares. Nobody cares where the money is coming from. So at the end of the day, sikana da ha ese de ye mpuntu dwuma ne nhyehyeye betimi aboa ma me no ya brabo asesa ebetimi dia create job opportunities. Sikana ebetimi dia build the hospitals. Your friends, healthcare infrastructure na e crambo no, your road network na se bi amanfo nam so accident ene wonam tema motorway so a o sinkra be fem. First na yese anibie ni ho nyansa ani ho ba kwa me nkroma hu nyansa those days. About 50 years, 60 years ago, a built a motorway. After the death from Nkrumah time, there, we've not been able to build a single motorway anywhere. Yabani assessor beauty meaning as a phone year to Augusto. Motorway no baby, I say, cranes and kind, yet me making sure, say, you ever build their manner, ye the beauty mean, and a yes, I near to Guso. Yes, yet, beauty me, and I yet to Guso. And one a motorway now is nasty. So the psyche, the mentality are as people, and support long-term development, and support to say but I'm the ordinary person That is why you and I need to have a conversation. They ain't get involved actively in this particular discourse. Say it is not about belonging to party A or belonging to party B. It is about asking for the right things to be done. Because this rent issue, you fix here, it will solve a lot of problems in this particular country, but nobody is winning. We have about 275 parliamentarians sitting there. Have you ever heard so be crab boss as a moisuda? Because you can't be you a free you to be breakomu a bit as a result of that, and nobody is doing anything to help. Nobody. So we need to have a conversation now. You bet me take this advocacy to a different level. I bet ringing like a bell in their ears. We see the relationship that must exist between you and the mono shouldn't be PTO. No, you can't pity everybody. It shouldn't be the fact that you're having mercy on me. No, you can't have mercy on me. Let that particular relationship be a mutual respect and intellectual kinship. What you're supposed to do it. Do it. So for some kind of a partnership, baby, Ghana you need to tax, obetia. Once there's a way, you do it. That is all that governance is about. That is all that. But if you continue to check those responsibilities, now you throw your duties to the dogs. Now obia forget it, acquire the burden will come back. I know the day now you box it in a way out. So MP no back constituency your constituents have become a burden. Everybody on your head asking for honorable and I'm school fees, honorable me honorable me person me koto me banidi. How on earth and will be then a irada. Now our crano kobobusia will be also the kwakwa outdooring. That doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense. But abanasa, people see these politicians as a pointer, sabi. And obey, but ideally it's not supposed to be so. Say you restructure your political system, no. Na ye den hyehyeye na edi egu ho na ebetimi aboa, because some of these policies more or less I quite incentives na etimi boa yen. E ma nema ekoi betimi ama hyehyeye egu akwan mu a amanfo be leverage. Because politics is all about creating opportunities amanfo betimi leverage to bring the best in them, because I'm telling you, say every nipa that's in Libya behuna sasi subiano, our immense potentials. These potentials are diverse. We only need a platform and avenue. That is why people will tell you, say America is a land of opportunities. Sebi, say you can dream to become whoever that you want to become, provided say we are ready. Provided say we are ready to avail yourself to the system, say, because the opportunities are diverse. That is what we want here. Don't pity people, create the necessary platform, the incentives needed. No, I'm for me leverage it to maximize their individual potentials. No, that is what they use asking for. And recently, the matter I'm for say, oh, this advocacy, then I say for no, I keep telling people, say, you see, politics, you're interested in far too, and I am far. Your friend is a bomb, and your politics, yeah, they are not. Democracy is a more or less like a discourse, or ideas. You look at the flip side, you analyze, look for best alternative. Now, so the advocacy, our critical impact. That is why today you go on social media and you find a lot of people trying to add their voices to the to the discussion. Nini na what to me shaping the kind of way because now my culture said those days now what see those big guys, Martin Luther King, those guys, no, the kind of impact was through advocacy. And those times in America, I implemented those repressive political systems that affected the blacks, Latinos, and those we na sabi na about for cry. Some slavery a major issue and a clique American Civil War no man buy, and because the North and the South were fighting because we say abolishing slave trade, we say that the slave trade must continue. Then a court created the whole issue by, and these people stood up and said no, we must fight against the inequality and choking the system. And through advocacy, these people made a significant impact. So you don't need to be voted to parliament, you don't need to be a president, you don't need to be wherever baby ever final who be, especially at this time, yeah, you will be the platforms are quite diverse. First, now you may need a traditional media. Now one of when you bring out I just Adom FM and I said your friends say Peace FM then for by the platforms are quite diverse. The Kevin Taylor platform, he's not even in Ghana, but yet he's able to reach out to over thousands of people within Ghana because this technological way now banner has come in its wake. A lot of your friends saying I bring a lot of platforms are sabi. A man for betting use as a medium to communicate. Sabi a man for better. And this is the time insist say the right things must be done. Sebe bit me fix it on mine because my culture say yam fam pie bomb fix it on mine. Oh yes, na sebi I said damn the whole team. And pie bomb in our personal way, a buy-in to refresh ourselves, whichever way you want to do. But when it comes to nation building, it's a key effort. Bet me transit consciously, but draw a plan at all. You are implementing stage 1, stage 2, stage 3, and send what me move on. Never and I had the miracle. I build it on mine anywhere. And going forward, some of the things that we need to look at, say one. So we have Chrome ha. Even work act is a major problem. People go to work, they present themselves say back, but putting their hand on something, say yeah, because I know the reason why the state pay a government worker is because the productive output of that particular your friend say worker no be edisika beba and say be boa aman hyehyɛ yaba enti any day bia obekwa wamfa won sanye bibi no o man na boka. So work ethics a major problem e wo kroma saying enti kwan ben so na ye fighting hyehyɛ agu ma yahu say if we are paying people on monthly basis, how do we get value for money? How are we checking to ensure that people actually come to work, and when they come, they really work? Because those of you in America, if you go and they say hour, you pay $12, you know say hour no, they will make sure that you work per hour. So at the end of the day, the company will not lose because what committee a lot of way into production, so or pay you because of your friend saying dividend na every free man bano ebi no duty aka per your friend saying $12 per hour. No? Now, if you Jimmy, now sign the $12 the amount. Hour no be making sure say, ahomadene adwuma bese adwuma num no will be more than $12 until you see out $12 or more. Do we do the same here? Do we? We don't. So at the end of the day, you know, if we are seeking transformation, these are some of the key things that we need to look at. And even our individual and private jobs. There was a time on Sunday. Na me tie ya me ya no pa me pe common paracetamol, all the pharmacy shops. Me say all the pharmacy shops you are closing it down. Obi akotena sorry them. All the pharmacy shops in the whole area you're closing it down. Obi akwa sorry them. So you see, until say you're working on our psyche, you know, because we are shop owner. Na say day no Sunday no ubakwa sorry. You can look around and you'll be an akwa sorry Sunday. So all you have to do is to find a substitute in a, because whether it is Sunday or Monday, people will buy something. So it's just a matter of looking for a substitute. Then somebody will be there working on that particular day. Sebeya won't create a vacuum. And this is a abroad for all the major saying foreign companies in our backroom, they all work on weekends. Go to Palace Mall. Unko owners na kasati homa Sunday from anopa. They work 24. When they say 24/7, 24/7. It doesn't mean say oh how they will allow you because it's a shift system. Sunday, you know, there are those who go to church, so that day you make sure you don't go. There are those because Ghana enemy you be Sunday. We have Muslims, we have people, pagans, people who don't even go to church at all. So when you are employing, you strategize to ensure say you get people Sunday, so you slot them in. You can do this research through Sunday and almost you about something kilometers. No the work ethics and the same people in the business in Kwaswa. No sorry them and common sense in the home. So these people come, these foreigners will come. Or be in the company now, or Kosro, what to hours what there was a time I bought a numero, your friend say 9:30 p.m. 9:30 p.m. and my electricity, your friend say, a sign, 9:30 and I'm a light sign. And na me pe light at all. Trust me. Michina cra. Baby as me could be a McCoy. Because now what 10 around 10. Menya been talk. And somebody told me say Nigeria 4 guys be run 24 shift night no. Or more run 24. I was anytime be able to be a robot there and you crab benya light to my surprise. Me say me could do her anado almost by 10:30. Nani po one sunlight that particular place top credit from these Nigerian guys, you know, who show because they have created a certain night market for themselves. Yeah, dear, young pond you because Ghana, you know, Nipan idea Jumana Shannon, I tell you more, crying a Juman and Janet into a pentamaco because the idea Jumana man soon to Yanikaye and your non so Yenny Biara. But these people know at Tenase actual system, no who design who loopholes so I womb. Look all the loopholes I womb, you know. And in the night, no moon say Ghana need be all run a shop be at Makoda. And that particular night, you know, say if they make it a deliberate policy, say and as a strategy, say, yeah, you don't work it 24/7. It's just a matter of getting people to know, say, anytime you are Benyabi. And these people are making a lot of money. So you can't be in the competition. You'll be doing the same business. He's moving on. You are not moving on. Because he has sat down, look at the system, identify all the loopholes, and in his own way, you know, or try to close those loopholes, you know, and all closing, you know, and your revenue and urban. As I'm making you aware, Sunday, Sisi Cruz or Copa Diato, Ubenu, when you been told, yeah, Because yenina ya to tuma kotra sorry them. I sorry them so bonny na do money and I yes and to ho. The same people are praying, say Nyankopon wine, but and these things are common sense. These are just common sense. Like I said, we Christians say Sunday yes, you can go to your church, but it's not everybody and they worship it Sunday. And I don't know what once you open business now, it's a public venture. The very moment it is open to public, it's a public venture. So if I walk to your shop at the time, why deny me something? And I may decide not to come there again. So you must make sure, sir, your service is always ready for people to access. These are basic things. And can I sorry them? And can suffer I saw a man Ghana for better say. Na ya chiro mo say, and name no bi o ha enyem paibo. Just common sense ni nyansa keke na ode beka ho, especially if you want to grow your business in the line and make ho say me ya. Ebe ya ose magic. Ebe ya ose magic e ko anim. But these are nema unkosua no classroom, unkosua ni bia. So church na abe one of the major platforms for socialization. Yeah, the church le hono. Yensan use the same platform. Ni fanchira manfo nyansa because obi oha. You say common sense is common, but it's not common to everybody. Obi oha, you need to provoke them. And now obuano, you put certain things on top of the mind awareness and say the nipa no tell me obet me a capture no dia ye nyuma. That is the only way you bet me a seek the kind of changer yepe. Now not this way. Your attitude near ye near my ye nyina dia and spy ebwa. And I say in line with the kind of transformation that we seek. And yeah, any bit me I am possible. So going forward, you know, senka yetna your mosque, na ye churchra. Yetna, I sorry them na ye churchra. Baby a betna be a church biano. Yam famra form. And family nipa brabom at that particular level. Na yen children nipa they need to get involved in certain things. How I bet me a yen never be on our own. I bet me bring the kind of change that we seek. But sa nema when you know ye bogu said the music rent as a maker say is something easy that can be resolved by your friends policy makers. Just sit down, issue something. President can do this because already know as a law but a do you know why? Because nipa no mode dan no ma han no are the same class of politicians. I want build asisi adan akese and most of the real estate na wu a some people are fronting it and the owners are out there, the big owners welum there to taranimu keke and they want those big monies. Until on penny charge on monthly basis and so whenever a policy is introduced aimed at ensuring that maybe you can't take 6 months where you enforce na or be no be enforced because omona sikana kese no ko mo na ko enforce on your one sika no cash him. So leadership on some fashion is saying you can go into a private venture, do your stuff, but the very moment abaji ato so be leading the panel, you should know say ajumaso na wafa to so. And you should be empathetic. Empathetic. My culture is central to leadership, central to governance, is care for humanity. So we need na. You will never do anything na ebetimi aboa our society ebetimi agina so transform it. And until na be hu ye na with all the natural resources and asefo a ye woni nyina no consistently no ebia ni ha African countries etimi take advantage or ye leverage ede amaya ye. What I was telling you the last time enye joke say all the continents you know ope baby resources are friend resources are manipa abrabo sesan resources are kese power ye woni nyina bi awa ye woni nyina bi human resource. Look at our youthful population, the youth population in Africa, in Ghana per se. And these are people in their productive element, productive age. We hear at that particular time, no, and I working hard. So be able to transform it. But youthful age in Africa, no, majority now go waste because again I they kwakwaye. Again I they kwakwaye. The last time I was telling you, say South America average age, you know, or more dear, no, largest the world new no, ubenya 41 to 51. I say it's an aging society, a society in age, and the very moment a society be age be no productivity platform because juma ama you are losing them and the economy will drop. So some of these countries, you know, omuntimi and replace it. The birth and death, intimi zoomi equal pace in intino. They are losing more than they are gaining. So deliberately, you know, they have found a way slotting amount for into the system. Until quite recently, Air Title 42 Donald Trump COVID-19 by or invoke here for the first time, you know, and migrant and as for OC amount for quino. You see the number of people here cross the US Mexican border, echo US. But deliberately, you know. They have Omashada Ayomoni. You see most of the politicians making noise and then for number deliberate every day be a man for a cross because they need those people, those energetic people. Because if you can walk from your friends saying Mexico to America, when you if you can walk from Peru, if you can walk from Argentina, if you can walk from people walk from Paraguay, Uruguay. If anybody can trek and I say walk from Paraguay to America, Argentina to America, it means that that particular person has a lot of energy. They can make a lot of contribution. Major concerns is criminals and may take advantage now, Mumba and those in Mexico, those drug cartel now, man for send the fentanyl, methadone, those things, you know, that is the major concern. But when it comes to say the pay they don't care that much. That is why because these people going out there, but they also see you as a tool. They use you to transform the economy because you know for a fact the American economy is a service economy. One year juma, so before you get $1, you make sure one year juma. So they don't care that much because we team system no it's not possible. So the very moment you enter, you work, and when you work, productivity will go up and the economy will benefit. That is why the last time I was telling you, Germany, they want people to give birth because so we have projections now in the next 20-30 years, you know, they will lose about half of their population because they are not deaf, no, and deaf, no birth, no, they are on a different lines. The rate at which they are losing, you know, it's nothing compared to people they are adding up. So and then people are being motivated. They are incentivizing people to give birth more. Say, yeah, or lose because my culture say economy nice, you know, you need human resource. So this is the capital. We have it in abundance in Africa. And intina among for now be more Yahubalu I to Sonam Libya, ye call France, ye call Italy, then as a form. I could drop off in summer. The no send a Yapam Baba. Because to be able to solve what balloons what tenants so I call Italy, no. Clearly, a chance of where then you can work. So if they can put you in any productive venture, they will make sure say you do because these are areas I won't even call them Juma. That is why I say I quite not down from basin there. Nanka officer communion block here. Come on, block no. Officer communion block here, no. Uncle my block no, but they know say human resource and who here for every economy be or labor force and they determine the success of the economy. The question I be say was adding to your youthful population in abundant working days about half sorry them in Monday to Friday because they have nothing to do. Desperation I catch a lot of people. People have become desperate. People have become hopeless. And when you are hopeless and desperate, you do a lot of stuff. Sometimes it is desperation system now. So how do we resolve these things? That is where policymakers must take the center stage and come out with interventions. Sebi, ebetimi aboa ede ahohar because makase enya ban bia na bebo betimi create adwuma ama obia enya bia. It's not possible. Even in America, the American government cannot create job for obia. So me ameti hai, I don't expect Akufo-Addo so create adwuma mo obia enya bia. It's not possible. But when you build a conducive economic environment, a bit me my businesses are thrival, and it's a businesses not a thrival. A bois, a masabi, obia, enya bibiye, ema obia, ediye. That is what you can do. But these incentives, you're sending at wogu, and yashada a creative poverty and kasa. So poverty in Africa, my country say, it's a deliberate political tool. The elite, the so-called political class, use to control the masses. Because blacks, your certain mentality be say yes, I so yeah, life say always we must be in servitude. Oh, some will be. That is our black mentality. Unlike in America, where you have a 15-year-old that say be you bequeath an estate to that person, or you need to 18 or take charge, and you ultimate church money who in this war or ultimate paying for working for them. No, you have no entesa. Obia want to take Obi as a slave. So where opportunities lie, square nipan best put to you to grab and grow, no, he will make sure say, oh, Shanasama was some not sebi. Nipa. So that is our psyche, that's our mentality. So I play around all facets of our society. Traditional, I saw them, your friends politics, individual, you call your homes, then I say for they play out. So those things, you won't find it in a typical African setup. Say, my opportunity, me creative way, say, I'm for betting me, I live. No. Those things don't exist. So, where those things exist, because, say, Oyisa in the free want to be in control. And this is over Europe, America, and other places, no more your politics here. The citizens, yes, we will see them in rallies, as if for the involvement is a bit subtle. Because Nipan already know I'm making informed decisions that because I buy way bow, I buy way more, what humans is Usika on Sabaka, you are independent. Oh, so you don't need to be doing honorable, na me pacha, na me bayari or sankas. No, you don't do those things. Until and the person will treat you with respect. By Hano, Ubedi dia honorable. Obey area honorable, who here school honorable, obey admission honorable. So I know the day no more or less like a slave. So the person feels, oh, these are people, yes, these are my people, and he will make sure so none or outgrow him. And that is the kind of system you are creating for your home. And the politics, a deliberate politics, the creative poverty, in a bit to control people. And you don't see anything moving on because with that mentality, it means supporting growth and supporting my mind tumpong because big economies and then as for answer economy be able grow no. They want this kind of a open space where amount for spending those transactions as for a coso on the your friends and that space called the market, a coso. So that exchange, and the bois my economy they expanding. But you have majority of your people, they are not working, no productivity, nothing. That know the day, I buy that master servant relationship kind of governance in the leadership and a year. So the transformation we seek, we can find it. But I catch us said this nasty political narrative of Africa, you bet me as a son, it's possible. Say, we walk out of emotional politics. Politics na ya invest currency, ya invest wom tribalism ni emotions no. Na yam fair ni say dear where we must demand accountability no yam bisa. Se nipa na ya de na say nya yenya kokodro nyina. The very moment we begin to do those questions, and you bisa among for questions, people will set up ordinary and nipa here. But we create an impression, so oh yeah, dear, or more yeah, nothing will change. That is why Yankopombo we are say besin said the yetiana, said the yetiana, nothing is changing. Because and then my nipa that's a neo. Ability so bet me striking the balance between what is right and what is wrong. Now I make it firm and informed decision based on right or wrong, not personality. No association, no affinity, nothing. Wrong, right. How now belong to. And the bit me I'm motivating those in power to do the right thing. And this Obekaya recently. Some of the big notch politicians in the Republican Party, you know, Abraham Trump they had issues with Trump, and publicly some of them say clearly say, "Akwa women to abamano or me am a party not to abatiano." That's the kind of mentality. You say the youth come, you know, it me at the two of my dream. Some politics and ya sorry na say yeah they ya me to no issue based. And why are near you should stick your neck because every single decisions be a air cost will be our rippling effect, our consequences, and these consequences are far. Just say, I know you're then. When I affect you, never affect your future. For instance, and I may come about rent issue. And obit me SCDI to make us a media may renting out 4 years, major at once. So situation where we a lot of young people are creating problems for them. We a lot of young ladies are creating problems for them. Because some never had any option there than say, although we work out that I'm is money because in some so one policy government and making sure it is forcing an innocent poor lady to go and sleep with somebody to get money to go and pay that lump sum. That particular thing, and you become a slave to that particular person. So at the end of the day, a young lady maybe with immense talent, when you want to or no so yankopon born by we are so maybe no, and say baby would need to be 20 no, or be a slave to somebody, and that potential in that person no may never come to light. So every single decisions be a far-reaching consequences. But and say some of us, most of our politicians are myopic, short-sighted, even not even they don't care much. They don't care much. Asafo don't care much. People go to church. There are young ladies who go to church, and when they are in need for sikai, they go to Danya. Suffer no bada. Yes, if you go to some of the churches, that is what some of the Asafo or that is what they do. They will sleep with these poor people, these poor young ladies. Asabi or people with need to what no behind Diamano. So there are some of the churches that very soon some of these things will come up. Okwa sorry no ma. Almost a madam woman or moyen sofana hand diamo be making sure so no be answada aquapositia. And there are some who are doing good. Because minimum sorry. Ebinu so boa so for na bo ebinu ma hwe a support ebinu ma masabi or more graduated from law school then as for there are some who are doing great and amazing things to help, but there are others who are also taking advantage. But all we got to do ne say ye nyina yam fire nontum yang one Sunday be a sofo nyina de omo no to asem wem ahemfo akese ya se bi omo te social media omo kon na me na me wo tumi na ma he sa ansem hunu no mu di o social media no omo nyina one day obi amfa na no ntom se rent a major issue for the youth, and going forward you know say you emra no ha adentina yen strengthen the rent control ema ye make sure say if you wura bia ntibi nkwaje dan a eboro na say sika eboro 6 months from obi a wa han ne dan Sabe betimi create some economic comfort and I say relief be for these young people. Sabe sikana omo tambum e de koma fiura no for 2 years 3 years advance no nipa no betimi invest in a small trade and ono so betimi e de ti akosi baby. We live in, and I can even look at America where we think that people go and they make a lot of money. People pay their rent on monthly basis. In the UK it's the same thing, and even some of the buildings are some of the way affordable way they don't even pay that much. But you live in Accra, this is a kind of an ordeal that young people have to grapple with. Politicians sit here in Accra, nobody cares when them raw and the leadership play some fashion saying that is what I'm saying. Say youth now mabano and you so muadio. No, they respect a lot. But the thing they say, observing from a distance, now here some of the challenges you know very well that some no can be resolved so easily with the intervention of these people, but none of them care about what is happening to these young folks. We are Ghana and we are Utah. You only become relevant during election time. And there, you be you so see a palm no so nim for so beam. And you to not transia one day if Nyankopon Emma obia a deep sense of reasoning. Not people begin to do sober reflection. No, beside a lot of critical questions. Now coming to a conclusion. We are panino shiawa. Respect, my culture is a virtue we earn. We don't buy. You can't put a price on respect. You can buy trust, but you cannot put a price on on respect. It will fade. Because we realize over the years, absolutely nothing. When we can intercede, we can intervene, we can stand in, we can use our influence to impress on power welders, on government. Say, Charlie, this particular problem there, going into 2024, the first problem ever solve a rent issue. Solve buying relief and comfort for a lot of young people. And trust me, out of that, a lot of people can start on their own and make life. Ghanaian dream. When even these basic stuff, nobody is prepared or nobody is ready. So or best standing in for the Ghanaian youth. Nobody. And the economy now yet economy a support to anything a bit me a change way because we have a BI1 a yesika pet. Like I told you, these greedy folks. I did to me saying they see this whole thing as Christmas to them. This whole leadership kind of stuff is Christmas. So every day is a celebration day for them. Just dip your hand in the cash bag, take as much as you can, go home and spread it on your wives. Nobody will question you. That is the kind of arena so people come to leadership position and suddenly they become fabulously rich. And others they look impressively poor, very impressively poor. While others fabulously get rich, and the rich are not coming from from exploitation of these same people. So how do we balance the equation? Leadership no bet me buy some comfort, some even platform be for yenina. And America say we need to get actively involved, active participation of the youth in your political discussion and discussion. Very, very important, because don't sit somewhere and say politics is a reserve for a certain few, it's a reserve for some individuals, it's something for the so-called elite, and I'm gonna take it. No. Me say, Ghana, we all have a stake in this country, whether you are educated or uneducated, whether whether you are sick or well, poor or rich, we all have equal stake in this country. And the development in the say ni nyina agira ye nyina yeso and o city aloof now for do arms now kasa media memfa ho say good tiri so. That is why we need to get involved whichever way, because when ne beteki ama you realize the kind of change that we seek. Makacha said this then is a new wave of a revolution that has been triggered, not a revolutionary kind of tool. It's a mental revolution that is waged on the minds and on the psyche of people. And if you are able to trigger it, a bit impact. Nasa etime emma adwene sha sesebi yeah aduma and society bamwa. I am telling you the consequences, you know, it will be far more devastating than your friend say a tsunami, because you see swift changes on the political landscape. And trust me, I'm telling you this because it has happened before. French Revolution started and the so-called first estate, the second estate, the third estate, whatever. The people became equal. A chassier, and they gave birth to the kind of democracy of France and no and over Bedruhai. In Spain, they fought the same battle. Spain cried and try because the Catalans and the Spanish in Uguso, because of same inequality and opportunities and as for Carlos Puigdemont, quite recently in 2014, what's here, said they wanted to break away Barcelona from the rest of Spain because they felt to say more contribution to the Spanish GDP, no, far more bigger than all other way. But when it comes to they almost share what they get, they don't. And we have a Barcelona where the ports and then I say for all the exports now, go outside Spain, you know, pass it through Barcelona and says, I didn't fight for our own independence. We have our port in terms of revenue. We have a lot. We can manage. Yeah, we can build our own country. That is the battle we are fighting here. And we need to insist. But this insistence, you know, we need to be together. Sabaya with a common voice, you know. The need to press home some of the crucial things that affect people. So Ahemfo must realize this. Asofo must realize this. Civil society organizations must realize this. Individuals, home and abroad, must realize this. And in a common voice, you know, you're pressing for good. But if we remain polarized like this, sharply divided along partisan lines, where you lose your sense of reasoning, because Asembana ye can Ghana news it is about where the person stands across the political divide. Obakaya abra Cecilia da pai shui ba ye ya ma menankasa kra ma bontin e mekasa no. You heard certain goons on TV stations trying to buy justification why the woman should have your friends saying $1 million in her room. Abra na ma menokra nyankasa ye. But a civilized society with reasonable minds, you know, as I'm not bad, you judge not based on individuals involved, but you judge based on the fact of the issue. Wrong, right? Based on fact available, you make your analysis. Then we follow up. So prosecution about Koswa, Omuko dia semnas and Nippon Difa, Uniswa Dipo, or Dibima, Uniswa Dibim. By Hano and Tessa. Yeba bono football NDC MPP anti where obi Kenyans asempa to say asema nipa yi Kenyans awomo no. We rubbish those things on party lines or can't because of Ofriha. Na se nipa no other side kwa no can say be onya Ghana ni asem na o kan no nyansa nim. But so we have this polarization, you know, I so extreme to the extent say a rubbish or other relevant issue of it in your boy building those building blocks na the chichiro of mine and ya boning in to a group because blog way a NDC blog or blog way a MPP blog or blog way but these are the blocks we need to build the foundation. Ya tugu and ya tugu in America kwa neko and other countries are going and Africa consistently in the so we have become a laughing stock among League of Nations. We have become laughing stock. Our leaders have become beggars. I recently Akufo-Addo was out there launching Ghana Beyond Aid, Ghana Beyond Aid, and our president has become a principal beggar on the streets of your friends and foreign countries, begging people, begging for clemency because your debt and insurmountable. We can navigate our way out of our debt. We can navigate ourselves out of this pool of debt. So a nation, a proud nation, Ghana Beyond Aid, you know, we are here begging. So I know that you know this sheer contradiction, you know. So I turn this whole thing politics now be a playbook of contradiction. So when we get to the world stage, they laugh at us because you are out there telling people so what they were home. You are the Ben nation, Ghana Beyond Aid. Today you are out there begging countries to forgive you your debt, begging people to give you loans. To the extent that we cannot even go to the world stage and say hey Chale, we want loan. We can't do that because the credit score is so terrible. To the extent that no person out there, no financial institution will be willing to give us anything because the economy is in fragment, it's shattered, it's broken into pieces. So there is no trust in the economy itself and its managers. And then now what is your he deal now you're negotiating with the IMF and I was saying now no I gave you a gist. Say Nanka 2023 we ever quite we no Nanka Yansaka $120 million from IMF. Fact 600 million by no. We are supposed to go through review to ensure that the benchmark we now on your meeting, you know. But the one critical thing I intimate meeting I to get some letter of comfort. Call it memorandum of understanding with the official creditors committee, you know, our China account, the Paris Club, then as if no, we couldn't agree that restructuring on a year panel, and for that matter, no, we couldn't secure the money. And your meeting with IMF for this year, no, and you push it to 11th of January, hoping that by that time, no, now you're teaming IMF, official, your friend saying. Credit committee, you know, makasa amasebi or matiasi ama and say your debt, you know, they can restructure it for us. But until that is done, we cannot get a dime from IMF. That is the same fate Zambia suffered. I told you. Abra munya omu deal no in 2022. Nanwanda omutia first trench the more for over a year, no Monsan can second trench because they were having issues with China because our biggest external creditor there China, bilateral creditor. And Ghana, so when China, they the biggest bilateral creditor China. So Zambia knew almost preswa a fiachi. So by the time my second trench never ban, not what free line no because it's a program. You are supposed to be in line. Sikano way back bedruha, way back now back twaso. Now was shako wanim. But when Saka na say other money no ma or plans are way in would derail. And that is the fate we face now. The finance minister is quiet, nobody is talking about it anymore. But the fact is that the meeting has been rescheduled to 11th of January 2024, hoping that by that time no na China, the Paris Club and other way no more can official credit committee no hona tiasie say oh okay even verbal assurance cry IMF better say this kind of my say you know mbekasa but until that even verbal we cry and sanka because the finance minister was here talking nonsense telling Ghana for say oh no he's going for 40% haircut external we know creditors no what you chrome na wudwa wanum Obi or not in the Sika Besha Bondum, Obi or Akobosiano, you don't sit here and tell them say they should accept 40% haircut. Oh, bodam. Lesigane Osika. You need to show them respect. Go sit down with them, negotiate. And I'm very much aware say such rhetorics no crack and are dragging this whole thing to where we are today. So there is no hope in the economy. And our people here are not people You're thinking outside the box. No. We think linear, that linear path, Nancy, a corner your copema. And no one see nothing happens until so we are best support, you know, nothing happens. But you see, we are sena kwa kudru baby or mind beer here strategic thinkers. People are or Dru baby, na say a copema or no answer to reinvent himself, find a way the alternative of it me, a dear society, sir. We know that ingenuity, no, and we here and there to navigate this stormy world. Yeah, you mean, say we are betting economic breakthrough, and that is what countries are most seeking to do those things. You know, yeah. Okay, now pim problem. Now I find a way to turn the problem into an advantage. Now I'm making sure, say, you leverage it. Sabe economically no a bit me wow because I now copy now for do arms sitting there beg and say IMF to come to your aid there then also name fast war and no you need any other way because your natural resources are not ordinary and can you be useful for these things you know yeah kwasi come yeah mama for be for do food yeah the cop so we don't have those bargaining powers and bargaining chips, you know. We don't have those things. So if you out there bargaining, then what they call you have absolutely nothing. And most of the African countries, and it's the same thing. Nigeria and on their folly party, the same thing. All the valuable natural resources are more than you know. A quackudin crofobin sawamanone. na ton into a minor has absolutely nothing in its name. Obet me so I say maybe be intino. And your money in the abobosia. Now about Kruma, even cocoa, we are could a gumurum grano, and that ya colatra quaja bosia. Your gold at a quaja bosia. To the sense, I even fund the crana, yet the support to education, and as a forget fund at a quaja bosia, as he come. As la so by ye, Cassa de, and then as he come, there been Nancy come. So I know the day no, or minor da. Nothing. And Tinipan want to know the sick mama say, now mine no clear to the idea, then I'm a fa. Because I didn't be a woman, I just say a munipan of a far cotton there. I just say be a munipan of a cotton because I did be a sickam. So there is nothing valuable left in the name of Ghana. We be generous, I say, and unti. Infamous mount. Kakana canon so you so, fadi. Yes, set up companies are. Unkrofuku ya de and ye de sisa kakra na aka no yes sani nyina kogufie ti maka kiro say until say ye be sha ase ato aba ma anyansafo omoye empathetic amam nipa omuhu nipa mobo hu say nipa ya me di omusi omunti e na me wo ha say and ade me ye bia say metime leave mark bia that mark no e say in a mean dent no ewo nkrofo emu sebe ya ombehu se me baaye na maye bibi. It is not about say me ba besesa riches na me nkwa na maye ye na me ba ko school ha na my no, that is not leadership in your private life despite we no mo your personal business yi osora no pa na say or the Chrysler be ko toilet anasa or the Chrysler be ko akoto banku a and no obi ane ni business in the private life but when you are in a leadership position you can't do those things. You can't do those things. Because what swear to take care of the people? The people are looking up to you. Life will be a believe at that space via a matter. It will be analyzed, it will be assessed. People will look up to you. So the obey should gear toward helping people, creating opportunities for people, making sure say public good and the ultimate focus. I bet drive in everything that you do. So in your private life, you can do whatever. But when you are in office, it's different. That is why I laugh when people say, and then I'm bomb a brother and I'm a simmer dying. Oh, but damn. Now, when I say, it's a lady. What people are looking out for in a leader is ingenuity. People with vision, foresight. And Kroma Bakruma, now on tour way. And Konoma Eba Kroma say no. Now we'll see our sign of baby. He even came to this country as a frustrated man. Because I've told you, say, now law exams, UK. He couldn't pass his exams. 1, 2, he couldn't pass. So out of that frustration, I know go through now. I'm gonna cover no buy. So all but he came with nothing. But because he had ideas, he had vision. Look at the kind of impact no marker will leave you. The printer will leave you Ghana. And forever his name will be heralded. So it is not about me, but no. And America and Rockefeller family, the masses. I want to lead because I've told you, say, the Republican Party, the financiers and them Bob Messa and Rebecca Messa and Asifonum, they are the bank rulers of the GOP party. As I call no Supersonic as a Sikarman and Hamana Mayor Winty, Mr. President Medibi. No, he knows his place. Oh yeah, dear, oh yeah. He knows, say, there are others as Sebi. Or creative, very innovative, very reasonable people with vision, people with ideas. So what I can do is to support them and push them to drive the kind of change we want. That is what you do. Obia Konenam baby, I know Bana was when Jessica about me the president. I am more but that movie is a president. That is why sometimes I get pissed when everybody just bounces into the stairs and say, me a president. You think it's a joke because we don't understand the concept and I say like Obi born a bravia or by the presidents na just to complement it. Say me born a bravia and I'm the president in back up here. E been a kufa do be na Ghana for Yanama Mania and Nemui. Because he felt to say, why do I be a presidency in Bekahua? Then he will feel complete. Look at the mess this guy has brought onto us. And look at the mess he's dragging Ghana through. Because it would take decades to be able to revive ourselves from this kind of way. All because of, say, Yokodi Niyamobiachi. And these guys, whenever they are coming, they have their appendages within the media. They drive them. Embarking on those misinformation and disinformation campaign aimed at hoodwinking public and into believing, say, this guy is the Messiah. Or sit down, why say, oh, but damn, now I can say, no! People want innovative minds, creative minds. That is why most of the European countries now look at the kind of people they are electing as prime ministers, as your friend is saying, as president, and as for young people, because these are adventurous people who are ready to take risk, experiment things I exist just to get something good out of it, because the world is in a competition. It's a challenge that is an ongoing in the end until we are saying, so you need to get people very adventurous people they're ready to exploit, to risk it all to ensure that they get the best out of way. Na debia sana yeye no sabia sana yeye no no yemfa no mu man yemfa solve problem eno nti na tambia ye kone ye kopema IMF is the only way out from independence time basic ne. Afibia ya kopema is one way because our way is linear. Yakona ya kopema IMF program, yakona ya kopema IMF program, yakona ya kopema IMF program. But yetimia take a bold decision. Na overhaul all these agreements ayaye nyina sabi em benefit your mind no. Na ye negotiate for proper and better terms. Sabi David revenues no every this natural resource ba no kra no yetimi maximize it ye gains from it and no ankasa kra no can solve a lot of our problems, but these areas no a gray area you don't even talk about it because ye nyina edidi ho because most of the monies here the financing political parties those donors sika because kra no there your system be a check political party corruption source of funding and as for the US abroad Donald Trump by you saw a lot of his your friends fundraisers going to jail because of some collusion, some corruption and as for political party no more fundraising no mo ye no political party ni jeje sika na for no corruption e ko mu no. A lot of people went to jail for that reason. By Hano, where those sources of those monies, we don't care. So any drug cartel can just push his money to a political party. Anybody at all can just finance political party. How you come, the person will come back to be paid back. So we need to do a lot of we need to reform our systems. We need to do, because we have a lot to do. And sana baby a person ya kono ye bedru ha ya duru. And yen na yam paibo. Yes, wait me abom paye because you feel whole on your own. Create that kind of relationship with God. Those aspects, you know, may say a personal. Build good relationship with God. Pray as much as you want, a personal level. But in building our country, no, it requires ingenuity, wisdom, a certain foresight. I bet me taking certain bold decisions. Now you establish me say conventional deterrence, red lines in the sand. People will know say these are great, these are areas the very moment you step in, no, and you'll be never catch up while winning the consequences that are. If you are able to establish these things now, trust me, the system no and kasa will reset itself and it will work again. Because the nipa here and say obenya feeling say action has consequences. If you create a free ride, just like Akufo-Addo has done, when people mess up, they feel so the president will come back and clear them. No, people feel emboldened, they feel comfortable. But if you're president, if you're able to look into the faces of your own people and tell them, Charlie, we are in this bus together, but don't mess up, because if you do, I will throw you under the bus. Let them know. People will sit up because human beings, like I said, I saw them a chrono. I saw them a chrono. Mosque chrono. Baby, a human nature, son and your boy, bonnie with a team. Whenever we get that opportunities and incentives now, the right way now, you be the bonnie. So always, you know, those red lines must be there. Nani pam who said, and never deter actually free never be home. But your creative free ride, everything goes in now. Nothing will change. And young people will continue to suffer. People will throw their future away because as we speak, we keep telling people, say a lot of people are leaving the source of this particular country, going out there. But there are a lot of people who go out there and they end up being exposed to the nasty side of Europe, America, and other places. Some go and never will go through, no. And yeah, easy. Because you know, a man for free which it's not easy. The ordeals are go through. Sometimes all alone in a room, if we were doing about what with them, one way depression kind of better. It's not easy. And I'm telling you, say, if this country is working now, there are majority of people who will be willing to come back home, work, and because they have family here, they can look them in the faces, speak to them, have that kind of way. Oh, out there, it's not like that. Work to room to way. Just say, when you cry, that. But you have no choice. Because according to the Waba, you need to make it. So I didn't know your team, and these people toil upon all the difficulties you go through, or we as an insaka bibina or shipab or no any kruma, and then so I buy the set at the floor, a do pot na kwabraniaje. A car, na yade. Sika win to mean to yatoso. Sika win to mean to yaned yatoso. Say date in the palm pet. Now, why you for 4 no other man girlfriend. Now, Brana ko bre wa wom bra wa bre ni nyina kwaye nkwase abre. That is how wicked we are. And 31st night don't kwasa ankrofo we nyina gira so ndem eto aye nyumo. That's why I'm saying Yankopon wa abotere. Yes, it's true. Sagacity vim or say yes, our happiness is always on social. Yes, I know. It's not easy. And somewhere pine I can't say be I'll find me aka me who am can Ade den ba ko pa ne se wonni prison na won kwa wo hye dem na se bi won kasa obi akra ho. When you be a strong person, you can't deal with it. You can't. Or sometimes you may even get into trouble where you might want somebody, a friend, or somebody to talk to, a family member. Such opportunities don't exist. You're on your own. So sometimes you battle with the problem. Nah, if you are not strong, you become depressed. So and you're easy. So you see, political decisions na our consequences bebre. And I was also telling you about a man for no mutu kwan. Very often, some of the European countries, your friends say Arab countries, yeah. Why? Near my yede Ghana for a firm or some of these countries. Some of these African countries, you know, go and look at the ordeals a man for go through. And these people get into these ordeals. People who go to Qatar, people who go to Saudi Arabia, people who go to Sa connection mine and as a phenomenon. You see, these people go and sell these poor people to your friend is having houses. Then as a for no on Jessica boom on copy, not here. Oh, Kawajan sa ko yadwuma akwa Jessica. But nipa no do call play agent no aton for bare 5 years a Jessica boom abra adwuma no nkonko yebi. Into okwa whatever condition be we go through no say yo enyo you're supposed to. That is why be do na ko do ani yaje o passport because who nim say watu ahokaba watu ahoka dia ma agent na wadwene say oyo papa no watu asika boom dia ma no so all my wonko. And these people, they don't respect human beings, especially blacks, you know. If you go there, the kind of treatment of Mother Ghana for fun, and as Africans in fun, and our own people sell their brothers and sisters into this modern day slavery or in the name of money. Now, obiti one or catch us say Bruni bi wo baby na Bruni no ye racist na aya na mo kra mesere asasi su penipa bone woni tim pa wasa among God creation na nipa bone woni tim a black man bone ankasa e we tim chen obia. We are not only racist. If you want to come to tribal way, look at the way we behave. Sharply, and there are this prejudices you hold against each of these tribes among ourselves. So, and look at who been a him for social media. You see, baby, we do such childish kind of way, you know. And then the space where people are racing to go to space. People are racing to invent supercomputer. iPhone is in competition with Samsung. Kids are coding and as if we are trying to take it to a different level, and then even smart houses are coming, infrastructure, and then as if we are not worried about these things. We are fighting over we cannot grow because I don't support it. Transformation, I didn't support to a yini. Cause Saudi Arabia, Papa no you know, nebano, what take you over and you know. Look at the kind of transformation air coso. The investment in technology alone is huge, it's massive, and I'm telling you, sir, in the next 10-20 years, Saudi Arabia will become the technological hub of the world. Yes, because I'm not taking upon themselves challenging Las Vegas. And I want to say they are opening a new Las Vegas when it comes to casino, those games, you know. And they want to build the largest game center Saudi Arabia. People will be moving around the world to go there. That is how the kind of competition and panimfono muwomno eboa adwen sebeya omayno ebeduru, because they have a focus, they have a certain mindset. We need to project this country. And you see ebiana unima You see, on my betum power, you should have a competitor. Why China is here today? Because over the years, all China has ever dreamt to be is to be like America. That has been the Chinese dream from the beginning. So all the Chinese professors, all the big Chinese professors, popular ones, they all schooled either at Harvard, Princeton, your friend is saying all the big universities, that is where I'm making sure that they will go there, learn the American system, and so forth. And most of the technology, how am I left free? Most of them, try to recreate it in their own fashion, so we best see to their system. And then look at where China is today. When are you competing with? I am for the where I can't say your system now is outmoded. Because psyche, a support and nourishes slavery. Because at this time, yet Mrs. Sao Hinigu Apakayamuna, ya sono no sa na kwabrani a wabo esono, edin tumoka na sonasa on obi and nana. This we are saying you and this Nanano is not making anything be as a baby boa ama kid in his own town no cry sabi. You bet me make it light, you bet me make it life easy for them. Brenna man for a Breno, Sam cry will be far to same ordeals. He's not thinking about creating, helping. Even you see and just tax him more hidden as if what is my catcher said. Whoever is in a position of influence, that influence, you need to impress on somebody to do the right thing, to take good decisions. A bit that is all the power. No, the some fast I don't know. Nanya power and so tiapa kaimu. Nani peltra onsia na ye. Oh, come on. We can do better. We can really do better. If we begin to care, say I must have brought care. I'm telling you, say they care, Papa. And until I'm spending millions of dollars to take care of people who are saying your mother and want to teach ma, nipa won't mean ye, a juma as or more ye. A binom has been designated with a disability status. State, taking care of them. Wow. Nipa na wadi dem no kra nam awiem science sika ka ho. Oh, come on. So this is a country of victims or yes, so rich to the extent that why ye man fonton yom friend no. Akra bayo wadi 24 years. Awo ne ba senachi. Oni adwuma ye. Dan a wadam yesi ya gini 2 years advance. Ontimi ntu ya enti kiosk. And I walk akwaje na akra na onyini no kiosk na akra na onyini na ma me ton pure water akwaje obi pure water na wakoton na yeto a sabi wanya bi dia to abia na didi bia to aba ne ba endi akra no going through such an ordeal no. This same kid will be in a competition with a kid in China or America in years to come. Because I catch say globalization has pinned the whole world together. Very soon, all of us will be competing, looking for a job on the same arena. Never started because in Ghana you can apply for a job anywhere in the world, provided you have the qualification or require. So the question is, how are we preparing these kids? The platforms are because the reason why they care about kids so much and they say akrano orientation no benyan won krabrim ne determine who he becomes. So first now what nature argument, and I'm just say that argument is irrelevant. That argument because nature has a significant impact on human development more than nature. Yes, nature has a has an overbearing impact on the development. That is why Abrafunu making sure that they invest so much in Nkrano at their early stage. Because say when ya Nkrabrem nu ye na ovia of pet or minor bo. But yeah, who cares? Mamena akra eshenechi ordinary traffic no tom pure water no. Yehuna mamena ye dina temse or ye biamanfo na mo ne braye. So that punishment is extended to the kid. We don't care whether akra life be ye. Because these children grow and they become vagabonds, endangering everybody, putting everybody's life in danger. Because criminals na uhuni nyina no, we created them. Maybe you won't tell you. Obi no aye won no a criminal. We created each baby a won na be hu obi o criminal bia society created that person. Yes. And let me introduce you to this common researcher out there. There is this book borrow free, Madam for Dr. Ajololo, University of Ghana. Let me see if I'll find that book. Oh, okay, yeah, book no that correctional theory. That is the title. You see, this is what happens. Se o akra na wanya early socialization, institutions of socialization o go through no wanya ni ya akra no ebe ye delinquent and ofri no kwan so they go wayward and they get destroyed forever. This is how it happens. Me what channel be on YouTube a me share. And what they do, they say the channel no nya they interview prostitute, young girls are more prostitute. They interview them. That is what I spend my time watching, because I just want to enter into the minds of these people, how they see the world, their psyche. And trust me, most of these young ladies are very intelligent people. I go into that part of life. And this is what happens. At the early age, you know, omunyina anya niye. Omakacho say akra at the early stage, especially those who grow up in children's home. Sa your friend say foster care na se for no say enkra 100 eco foster care na say omoko those homes na. If you are not careful, 50 will come out as criminals. And this book, this research, this correctional theory book, second edition, you can search for it, a bachelor. Because this is what happens. And at that age, you know, say only mama na only papa na no children home na. Sa children home no. Nobody is showing that akrana. Ade FN love obi an show ni bi. No. Ade FN empathy obi an show ni bi. Ade your friend say no problem. But na mama nchen when mama discuss it, they don't grow being exposed to those things. Out there, they are candidates. Almost struggle for survival. Sometimes Adriana Crane your from is survival of the fittest. So that is the concept these people grow with. So when they grow obedu level being oba society, they are unable to fit into this society because the life they live there, how they perceive life, and so forth. So where you feel empathy for me because papa he showed love and children's home no only papa be mami so you can't blame them. So they grow without these basic things into onyina where you expect to mercy for you no onya. Same thing happens to broken homes, but their thoughts are those who grow on the street in Nasifon. And common, very, very, very common. And if you follow this research, you will understand this. So these people grow, and at the end of empathy, or no nibi. So we are not there. They pay you back because out there growing, you know, they try to live life in a way on free survival. So when they come, some of them end up committing a lot of heinous crimes and they end up in prison. So if you go to prison and you do the count in most of the correctional facilities in America, you realize that most of the inmates, you know, most of them are from your friend saying these foster homes, broken homes, because nature and they determine who we become in life. And these institutions here, now you're making sure say schools and your church and answer Muslims we know ye use as giving some moral foundations to our kid. Say baby to certain principles, certain empathy be a mumu na a guide you to grow. Hey, we are in danger. Trust me. We are in a serious trouble. That is why I'm a catcher say, building a nation, you know. You see, you need to sit down You have to be very analytical. Exploit all the possible avenues, how a problem not bad and how you can solve them. And yeah, about wearing fancy coat, going through constituency, buying for me was me too good amount to about no. We will end up solving no problem. That is why over the years, poverty in 1990, I was cry 2000, I was China. Instead of saying, yeah, try say, you be making sure say you create opportunities na nema besesano. Yeah, cause yeah, nema no say why, because nobody is taking cognizance of the causes of the problem. Na yeah, address it. Enti never be enemy. So obeha. Oh, your moral we ni na you living out anadwi 31st night. Media people. Eso so more cameras and then I'm sorry them because obi be sham come sabi enkwasa sami kwa na ye ni je ho. No, say you better say I teach people the basic things people need in their lives. Sabi be tina guide your mono. No, e chena beti and we ya sham come and we be say media people know these are things they have invested in. And our prophecies, and the 31st night is about prophecies, and away be yes, say, and now science, but the basic core things, the values, the principles, certain core element, and nipa here, say, or the Baba Brano. Nobody is talking about those things in the church anymore because we are on the club, Bianco. And here now, who can be feeling more TV home from an apocalypse and or just of our preaching. And it's all about miracles. So I know the day, you know, because but where we need to lift our fingers and get involved, you know. Yeah, Obi, are you interested though? Obi, are you interested? I'm coming. Sorry. So society, you know, and never be a jigu because you're free set by default, you know, things will fall in place. But we are still to say, I did be a take conscious effort. And me catch said a crowd owner nature it play a critical role because say oh can nature and nature ya wakra nasa one children said yes kasa. There was this research somebody did and cram you don't have for back on otuno punum then crab brain nyina wonyo bia na nkasa na ba kon disabonta na manfo kasa 10 years time they shut them no even though or no there but on to mean kasa but the carbon no will be able to speak so a chiro say kwanya obefa so a obe na cha akra no and na be determine and ntina always nanka insist say yen go back na yeah various mediums of socialization church school then as a form no yen use no na yem fan teach these people about these basic concepts, morals, and then as for in life. And then school ya tuogu, church ya nyesa ane mano, eti ya namusa and a politics and abaya chrono bo, and nobody cares about ubi. And I yen na yen namu, enti or mine so opese enye opese ensesan because it's the same group of people. So very often you hear people and NDC or MPP and catch people say, you see, we need to tackle the problem. Problem near many war. The NDC, the MPP, CPP, these are political institutions full of human beings. So you think, sir, we party back who had a problem will solve? No, because we are not willing to solve anything. No, you see, people we expect contrition from everybody, except ourselves. You find it easy target blame, and then we get away. Problem not started with us because you are working on our mindset in a way. Yeah, myself of Jesus Christ of my president, the problem will not be solved. So yeah, and a bit me affect the kind of change that we seek. But we are not willing. We want the easy way. Oh, as much as no, it ends there. But yen taking conscious effort to look at ourselves. Yen so know what is our role? Because say Ghana for now with the same mindset, with the same thinking, with the same attitude, with the same poor way, is the same thing. So to solve the problem, yen started to tackle the problems. We have to be very frontal. Yen face the problem, na yen tackle na yen make sure say niema na kuntia ye society yema niema nkoye ne ebinie. So these are institutions I set here see why yen try say ye betime I build the next generation on this lines of thinking na ebetime abo mo I reshape mo sabe ya niema be because anya sa not the same line na yen na trust me. The next generation will come, inculcate the same sense of reason, same sense of thinking, that slavery mentality, and no one about drive here in everything that we do. And trust me, nothing will change. Nothing will change. So, 31st night, I'm for a bonfire, people are wishing for a lot. These are basic things we need to embrace. Cause change if you be free, baby, a harness start free. Hackman. Baby, I will be a Merry Christmas. Baby, yes, start free. These are the fundamentals that we need to tackle. And yes, sir, because the same group of people, this crooked way, treaty of we will end up find themselves in politics, and the same, you say, tradition goes on. It will continue. The trend will go on because so Bekaya, Kwame Nkrumah pencil. There are people who stole from the state. Yachi omo yatomo demu niema tomo japade nyina dituaka bakro no and stop it till day twaso cause the mindset abind the alpha. So until say you be working on the minds of people, say you may be in a party but obi bokro no a who say we are Ghana ni first. Command can obi we are no a obi hospital bill a obi school fees a obi sikas ya the oxygen amount the panon frama and a wafano enti every way bia obi take on our mind so bia no our damning consequences on the life of others. So if you're able to realize these things, trust me, we will all live here well and make sure that we do what you're supposed to do. But I'm such arena no any holy and at the leadership position, nobody is considering weight, nobody is considering who is intelligent, who can do anything. A platformer. Obia about to be so I know the day who make the loudest noise and I know the day by okuma near the position ama nipa and same hunun 4 years choka nothing changes. Problems now ba see ya be solve no ya be kon no ya 3 ma ye no e 1 and problems na be 5 we ba problem na 5 obe kon na ye 20 sa na ye gum sa. So leadership is not serving any purpose. Abaye agenda and I'm a catcher say abaye big pharma agenda. Create the disease, sell the cure, and check your bank account. So nipan be kofie with fact bank account, but impact aye seek is aye no nothing and they change. So 2024 year I think say we got to do a lot. You start here and you can about a lot of things your work ethics, especially minor business Sundays and then as for don't call pharmacy shop. But me actually the whole part of Accra pharmacy shop Sunday and a power per draw crowd win ya be obiat makwakwada. The same person as under me bomb pie saying ya money business and ye. but China ni na be a shop. Oko China more 24/7 Sunday you know because it's so easy to do this and people who are doing this are Ghanaian because enyo bia na kwa sorry Sunday. So in employing you just have to be strategic. Employ people who can work on Sunday to work on Sunday, and those who cannot work on Saturday, they cannot work on Saturday. So the business, you know, the cycle will not be truncated. The business will flow because every day people are buying. I went to China Mall, I think your friend is saying that was Saturday. Most of the Ghanaian shop, yeah, so to call holiday. Palace Mall, run 24/7. 24/7. These are people are almost the same in almost more, but why be in the business? A Christopher Koda, your friend is saying. Be possible bomb paya, Ubenya Ubiamana for Juma. Nipa, Osum and Pia Juma and Quacoye. And the child said, life, no, your religious life and the social life, na ye live economic life, no. A toda and come momsa. Some decisions and you'll be making and be determine whether you become successful or not. So we need to work on our mindset. Now you who say life isn't about miracle. And the 21st, 31st night I sorry for the camera. Did you much in the namwana Michelle come such things? The world, you know, and your magic world though. This is a physical world that a thrive on ingenuity, wisdom, and Elon Musk, the oil no, and young pipe and Kwashabi person or bomb pie and Yanko Podi in the Amano, the space we're now building. No, it takes conscious effort. So, but Tenacia being who said these are ways I may near my way obey now, empire bono personal level, no, or they are supported. So, those in churches are. Asofo no bi ma sabi nimde no forma ya fa nyansa kwan so deceive among for telling people so life is not about miracle. No, life isn't about miracle, it is about hard work. Yen commit certain values, principles bi yen fan room because the same person for sorry them onya adwuma na krono e na obo corruption ya ye ka ho asema ene abubu ya political landscape ya ma sabi enema bia aginsam yi. People who are stealing are either Muslims or Christians. Egu 12 boy. Hallelujah, shout on top of our voices as if say yeah holy, but the same people stealing poor people's money. Same people stealing poor people's money. So we are nothing but nasty pretenders, deceiving ourselves. We are not honest. Business never could frakadam sa subai na bayam fasa and no can who be crown Africa titia pansamin because you can't trust an average black man. You can't trust them. Baby a dokobia ya koseho. That is that. So yeah, shasi handkerchief 2024 where ye coming to white handkerchief na efina ba adwenum no yam popa ni nyina yam popa efina ba adwenum tungu na se yam popa. Nothing will work for us. Nothing will work for us. Because me say obey ya started for adrenum and the one fadrim papa ne way. Yes. So yam fadrim papa na kuma papa anye. Na ye say ne biara. Going forward no. Ya sum ya me ya ma ya dwe. I think that network no hard but I don't know. I'm saying it's almost 12 o'clock, so I think we can even it should be ending it. So I'm for me any opportunity to do whatever that they are trying to do. So to cut everything short, 2024 we are hoping a lot of changes will happen on the political landscape. The average and the ordinary Ghanaian no enya hoto so say and or getting involved in politics, politics will turn around to impact on the life of people and happen keke a take conscious effort on the part of Nipana Edi to me show Monsano. Now you making sure say yeah politics are ebe bua nipa. And I'm saying say Nipana dia we piano you can influence ubetimi do ho agim o kan eso womfaso because politics yamfa sekan yamfa tuo yamfa bomb and yamfa grenade ya de ya no a discourse contest of ideas you share flipping the other side. Look at the best alternative way na ya fa and the politics. And this obekaya abra communism and swerve over the world that people saw it as a threat. Taking over the whole of Eastern Europe, Certain individuals stood up, and one of such people, Pope John Paul, your friend is from Poland. So obekaya. So history will tell you, say, he's one of the forces bringing down the iron curtains of your friend saying communism in Eastern Europe. Because as a pope, he used his position, his influence to do everything to ensure, say, communism, oxygen and the air fly, way down. His position, politically, served as significant because at that point he realized that communism will not help. Whether he was right or not, but he used his position to do something. South Africa, Desmond Tutu, for all the struggle, this apartheid movement, say on them Nelson Mandela side by side, they were involved. And I am telling you, say, we can do same. And ya sofoni yempani mfoni ya sromo, omo and realize say. Once I would then you have a role to play. Let us get involved. Now yambua to redeem the people from clutches of their tormentors. Because these people, we have entrusted political power into their hands, don't see like they have a duty, they own us any duty. That is the narrative that we need to change. So Ghana, time 11:59. Hooray! I see 2024. And we thank God for our lives and for taking us through. And we are hoping, say, the next year, Ghanaians will see massive transformation. Hoping, say, advocacy, all the summer Ghana for Enya and 2024 nipa ma na nia da ho na niema akoyie e wo kroma sei 12 abonti me mpese meteki obia time biem wa wonya opportunity ba ha bia nso. Thank you very much, and I wish everybody a prosperous happy new year. Ramza African Kujo Nanaya Adoma Ni Latte, we started with you. Thank you very much for being here throughout. Larry Mills, Isaac O Ajay, Merry Christmas, Joseph K, Ayariga, yes, Kwesi MP Boasiako, thank you very much. Frank Gani, Larry Mills, Ishmael Teria, Bernard Annan, Tom Tonson, Tom, wow. Good evening. Eko Mensa Onuama is watching. Happy New Year. Hackman Boli, Happy New Year. Abubakar Wadada is watching. Georgina Ikata, thank you very much. Merry Christmas. Eva Love Amankwa. MC Baby watching. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, Happy New Year. Thank you very much for your time. Nyamiadom, we are here 2024. Until say the narrative, the nasty political narrative of Africa will change, so we will not rest and we will press home our demands. And until say every one of us becomes a beneficiary of this country, then the political system need their we will continue to wage resistance on the infrastructures of corruption. Yashada asi ayede boni pakrono. Ebe end. And at the end of the day, we the people shall prevail. That is a fact. Thank you.